I think it's fair to say, John, when you look at the numbers, you pointed out they need to do more than just make shots because a 64.2% field goal percentage is not going to be there each and every night, nor is shooting better than 60% from three. Still, you had to feel very encouraged by what you saw from the Illini on both ends of the floor on Wednesday night.
Yeah, and you have to capitalize on momentum. But ultimately, if you're John Gross, you want to look at what's sustainable. And what's not sustainable is 65% shooting. It's just not. And that's not even a knock on Michigan. It's not that Michigan didn't defend and they were just terrible. Sometimes the shots fall, and that's how it goes. And it's contagious, too. Making shots is contagious. Missing shots is contagious. And this night, it just so happened to go the way of Illinois. The issue is you've got to find balance within the offense and within the defense. You got to be able to get stops, rebounds, runouts, and then execute in the half court, even if you're not making shots. And that's going to be what allows you to compete to a point where you're in the middle of the pack and potentially an NCAA tournament team like I predicted they should be.
Yeah, consistency a little bit of an issue for them, not just on the offensive end, but on the defensive end as well. You brought up Michigan's defensive woes. It's more than just defense right now for Michigan. You look at this roster. Irvin and Walton back.
Stacked.
Robinson's a great three-point shooter. Mo Wagner is a guy who really burst onto the scene last year. Haven't even mentioned Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman. Yet, as John Beilein said after this loss on Wednesday, something's just not there.
I can't say we've tried everything, but we are trying very hard to find out what pushes the buttons on this team. And it has been a thing we've addressed all year long, that there's something missing. There's just something missing. And for the normal things, and until we find it, and that's me to find it. It's on me. Find it. You got to find it.
And I would argue they need to find it fairly quickly because the schedule gets no easier. I asked this question of Sean Morris on Tuesday, whether it was panic time for Indiana.
Yeah.
I think it's now a fair question to ask about Michigan. Is it panic time in Ann Arbor?
I think it's getting close because this is the type of team where they're not really a demonstrative defensive team, which means they're not going to take you out of what you want to do. They have to score points if they're going to have a chance to win basketball games. And right now, if you can't get a stop and you can't get out in transition, you're going to have a tough time executing in the half court against teams that know you all too well at this point. It's the Big Ten. If you're doing this in the non-conference, you can get away because teams don't know what you want to do. At this point, every single coach out there knows exactly what John Beilein teams want to do offensively. So it's going to be difficult to win half-court games if you can't get stops on the defensive end. So, yes, I think it's close. It's really close to panic time, and you heard it from John Beilein himself. That's not just him saying, oh, I've got to find it, it's on me, I've got to find it. That's a message. We all know that's a message. And he's telling his team right now that I'm not okay with everyone that's on the floor. No one's safe. You know, it's time to ruffle some feathers and make some changes.
And John Beilein is not afraid to do that. If he is anything, he is honest, he is open, whether his team is good or bad. He'll let you know. I have a feeling inside that locker room at Chrysler Center this week, those players are going to know exactly where they stand.